From Mira Mesa lanes in San Diego, here for the title matches of today's JBT event. Scratch well ahead of handicap at this point, so we'll try and catch a little bit of the handicap semifinal at the same time. But right now, here is Solomon Salama looking to join a club. If he can win this title match, and that third frame messenger will go quite a bit to help him make that happen. He's got a 12-pin lead over number 3 seed Elias O'Halloran and won his last match to get here, but opened in the first frame. Elias, the defending bowler of the year in SoCal, not Solomon, Elias, and a solid 9 to help his cause there in the third. He's a 6-time JBT champ, but if Solomon wins this match, he will become the 9th bowler in JBT history with 30 or more titles. O'Halloran, obviously a tough customer to accomplish that with. He beat newcomer Aiden Miles in the semifinals and got by Chris Mays in round 1. Battle of two-handers, righty versus lefty. Elias wastes no time. Looks like he's still holding the left lane pretty well as he's shot 269 and 230 in his first 2 games on this pair. No ball? Do you know how to call him up right there on that phone? So neither bowler looks as comfortable on right-hand lane 42 so far as Solomon flat 7s that time. To their left is the handicap semifinal between Corinne Marquez and Brandon Rother. And all those 2 bowlers, keep in mind they're the semifinalists, all those 2 bowlers did was go a combined plus 696 today. 354 for Corinne and 342 for Brandon. It was one of those days, especially in handicap where the scores just went through the roof. They hit that critical mass in the semifinals where the lanes just seemed to open up for everyone, and the scores went through the roof. Will lead to some massive overnight average adjustments. That's typical earlier on in the year as they sort of swing drastically with an easier shot versus harder shot. It all comes out in the wash by the end of the year. Meanwhile, Solomon does something we rarely see from him and miss a single pin as that whiff of the 7 ties up the match through 4 frames. See how he recovers here in the 5th. Delaney seems to like better. No problem there. Both bowlers trying to keep it in the oil today. We bowled on Bourbon Street. If they go, well, in Solomon's case, if he goes left to target, in Elias' case, if he goes right to target, balls can actually check up too much on them. So they're trying to feed it down the lane with that oil, and they do, but lane 4 continues to play, lane 42 rather, continues to plague both those bowlers. Solomon flat 7, Elias flat 10s. Now I'll tell you, one thing you're never ever going to do is intimidate Solomon Salama. However, if you ever were going to, it's when you're bowling the dude who's on the wall. There's Elias, the U12 junior gold champ a few years ago, sitting right next to Caitlin. Girls U12 champion. This is really a house of champions. A lot of, not just gold winners, but finalists have put a lot of their practice and tournament time at this house. No. Solomon shreds that racket, gets no love. Rother went spare strike but dropped a little count. Corinne trails by 14 and she has to make up 3 more. So spare working 8th frame for Marquez. That's a good looking ball. No problem there. Corinne led most of the rounds today before Stephen Abkin caught her in the 8th and final game heading into the step ladder. She's got to win this extra game to get back with another opportunity against him. Salama leads by 1, can extend to 11 with the strike working here in the 6th frame. As that upright posture goes down into that crouch. Oh, man! And just scatters the rack. And somehow that 7-pin remains standing. Meanwhile, Marquez, a disastrous split there in the 9th. That's not what she was looking for at all. I think thanks to Corinne and Drew and Missy and the whole crew here at Mira Mesa for hosting us, putting in some nice renovations to the place. I love these masking units. Solomon self-congratulates himself. He does a Kyle Schwarber down there. Oh, this is close. Man, Corinne has made a 4.9 today. She's made a 3.4 today. She almost made an 8.10 last game. And she darn near gave the 4.6 everything she had in that one. But obviously, big advantage Rother now. If he can just stay clean, he'll have it. That's an if, of course. You never know what happens in these matches. And that ball, boy, he missed so much. He got the strike. That's bowling for you right there. That double's going to just about lock it up and send Rother to the title match. Salama now trying to hold a good lane, and does. His own toughest critic. He doesn't look like he liked that ball that much, but it finished flusher. It often happens on high-scoring days. We end up with medium-low scoring title matches as the easy pattern starts to sort of dissolve. You can end up with cliffed patterns. You can end up with just nowhere else to go. I think the former is more of the issue right now for both of them. As Rother, as usual, up before the pins are. He's ready to go. Man, each of the top four have been just fantastic in handicap today. Elias for the lead, and instead, wow, the lane they both had liked better gets up and snags Elias there as a pretty good looking shot off his end. Ends up 4.9ing, and if he doesn't spare this, the lead will flip-flop back to Solomon. With just 3 frames left to go. Now, not what he wanted at the split, loses the count too. Solomon's going to take a re-rack here. I think he was trying to get the deadwood out, which didn't happen. Whoops. Perfect time for that for Brandon on the fill ball. Yeah, go ahead. 215 scratch, that's enough to move him onto the title match. Your protest has been heard and declined. Sorry, what?
How's scratch?
Well, it's close.
Oh, it's really close.
Not the finish I knew Corinne wanted, but still, an awful lot to be proud of today. She just leveled qualifying, plus 280, was the lead girl scratch today. In fact, she would have led the scratch division after 5 games today at plus 160. So good stuff for the Ottawa bowler. All of them. It's about all of Ottawa here, thanks to this lady and her driving skills. Not this lady, that's Mom, this lady. Well, you got nothing worse than second coming this time. Steven, as soon as she's done, you should be practicing that. Go right into it, please. Meanwhile, Solomon did catch the double. Seems like a first double win situation here, especially with that 4.9. O'Halloran's got 133 on and open through 8, so he's only pacing 170. Solomon in the 190s right now. He can stay clean and hold count and win this match. To be determined, though. Woo! That ball went way further down the lane. Just a bit right, and it just skated. Skated just enough to get that light hit out, and that should just about do it. So Solomon, the leading title winner, active on tour. Everybody else above him is already aged out. And he's got a bunch of lefties. So he ties Derek Acuff for 8th place with 30 titles. Next up is some guy named Jacob Buttress. I don't know who he is. He's got 32 wins. Then BJ Baker at 36. And the high lefty lurks in 3rd place, Harley Swigert at 49. Black and Smith in between those two. So the best of the best names for quite obviously one of the best you've ever had. And listen, Elias is still defending BOY. He'll be back plenty of times. Don't tell him that right now, as he's got that runner-up scowl, saying, "Gosh darn it." Well, it could have been. Felt like better than potentially 190. That's for sure. Saul will be back to attempt to sweep the weekend tomorrow, I'm sure. Put Acuff in his place. That's only going to be 180 for Elias. Coming off at 260 and 230, I know that's even tougher to take. There will be plenty more coming down the road, as we all know. A lot of respect between those two. Coming up, it'll be Abkin and Rother for the handicap divisional title. Make sure to watch part 2 of the video for that. And right now, we watch a guy make a little bit of history. All right, so how are we going to set up this? How bad does he want that thing back?
Well, is he going to be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know, probably.
I know, but he put Kyler through a lot of emotional stress there. I think there has to be some compensation for that. People, 30 titles, people. That is tied for 8th all time. Only the 9th bowler ever hit 30. Well-deserved round of applause for the 227 final score. For the talented.
Planning on torturing us tomorrow?
Sorry?
You planning on torturing us tomorrow?
Yes.